more than about the teams, Jenna. I learned that I'm so happy and glad that I jumped on that Suns bandwagon on Friday and came out early and said they are winning it all because Nick was lurking. He was going to try to steal my take. I know it was coming in a few weeks. I got it there first, so I'm proud of my Phoenix Suns. No. They got it all right? We know they're great defensively. They're well coached. They can score offensively. And here's the thing. Offensively, they do it at every level. They can score in transition. They can score in the paint. They can hit the three. But I love the mid-range attack. And lesson to many of you NBA teams and coaches out there, don't abandon the mid-range game. The teams are running you off the three-point line. They want to stop you at the paint. They're giving you the mid-range. So take it. Chris Paul and Devin Booker great at the mid-range. Young kids still practice your 15-footers. But here's the thing. So I didn't learn anything I didn't know about the Suns. Didn't learn anything I didn't know about Philly. I got to give you this Philly take, Nick. Philly, and you guys know when the trade was made, I said they're not winning it with Harden. I'm mad with myself that over those first 5 Harden games, I was kind of fooled.
You waffled.
Oh, look at James. He's balling.
Flip-flop.
Yeah, but no more. Here's the thing. Yeah. James Harden, and we know he's had a phenomenal career, but James Harden just wants to go hoop, right? James Harden just wants, let's go to the park, let's go to the Y, UCLA, and just ball, you get yours maybe, but I'm definitely getting mine, all right? He wants all that. Yeah. And we talked about this after the Nets game. When we saw, he ran the photo of him at the party with Lil Baby after they had been demolished and he had been embarrassed by Kyrie. Baby. I agree with you, Nick. It wasn't the worst thing in the world. You can go out and have fun after a game, even a loss. No big deal. But this is indicative of a mindset. Then he ran the hype video where he passed Reggie Miller in 3-pointers made, even though they got blown out. And that, again, indicative of a mindset where you're not really, you just want to go ball. You just want to have fun. But when it gets serious, when it really gets down to brass tacks, and we are fighting now to win, and it's a grudge match and 7-game series, Harden don't want that smoke. Look, and we've seen 2 games. Kyrie, former teammate who he left, and Chris Paul, former teammate who he jettisoned out of Houston. Both of those games, those 2, Kyrie and Chris Paul, wanted the smoke. They wanted James Harden. Let's go. Me and you. And Harden didn't show up. After Kyrie embarrassed him, 3 for 17 against the Nets, Nick, he goes 2 for 11. 11 points. 2 for 11. Huge game, and you giving me 2 for 11?
Of course.
And the 2 turnovers. A lot of people say, well, he only had 2 turnovers. To me, that's indicative you weren't trying to make stuff happen. You sat back and relaxed and didn't want that smoke.
Listen, it was awful. So there's so much great there, and I love that Bruce squeezed in the middle there. The mid-range game, making a comeback. Also, Brew, at this point, you're like Axe Capital, buddy. I forget how many things you have an ownership stake in. Your Clippers, your Nets, your Cavs, you're from Cleveland. All of it. Now all of a sudden, your Suns. There's just so much going on. Brew's got his hands in all the pots. But bless you, Jenna. Philly is in real trouble. It's a concern for me for a couple reasons. One is they play Milwaukee here in a couple days. Then they don't play a big game the rest of the way. And I need to see Harden and Embiid in crunch time minutes in a high leverage game show me that they have some chemistry. They have some rapport. We've thrown this thing together and we called it, a poor man's Shaq and Kobe because we thought their games fit, but they have almost run out of all opportunities to be playing a good team in a close game and see what those 2 can and can't do together. So that's concerning. I'm going to throw another thing on another log in the concerning fire. Wilds, until Doc Rivers decides to stop playing DeAndre Jordan 10 minutes every game, 14 minutes average, I can't take him seriously. I have a rule in life. It is a post-2016 rule.
My goodness.
If DeAndre Jordan is in your rotation, you can't win the title. I have felt this way everywhere he's gone. I can't leave Philly out of it. So, you want to get in my little title bubble? DeAndre, go to the bench, buddy. What are you doing? So Embiid, Embiid was awesome. Embiid's trying to win a damn MVP, and it don't matter.
He was awesome.
It's Phil. I'm worried about my my buddy Daryl's team. I'm worried.
No, here's the thing. The Suns have been the model of consistency. They've been good since the bubble. They went undefeated in the bubble, and since then, I think they've just won. I had the stat, but I lost it, to be 100% honest with you. Here's the thing. I don't believe that Philadelphia, Broussard, just like you always said, continuity and chemistry, has played enough games that we're going to see the real Sixers. I think there's a little bit of like, all right, you know what? Let's put it together. We finally got Harden in Philadelphia. But do I think that the Sixers really have championship aspirations? No. Not with this little amount of time to develop chemistry. Maybe you think that this is enough, that you got two great players, you got an MVP candidate and a former MVP, but I don't think there's enough time.
Well, to Nick's point, even if it was enough time, we all lurking in the back of our minds would have been like, but what's Harden going to do when it really gets tight, when the heat is on? And even to a lesser extent, Embiid, what's he going to do? Because we haven't seen him really shine in those big moments in some of those past playoff series with the Boston Celtics. So that would be a question, even if they played all season together. But you are right, Wild. You look at them, it looks like they had more feel for one another early on when they got together, the first 5 games or so, than they do now. Because now Harden is pounding it a lot more. He's dribbling it a lot more, over-dribbling, and guys are standing around and watching him. That is happening more than it did early on when he got there. And so, yeah, I got major concerns about them. This is why I thought Harden, Nick, he should sign that extension. Don't let it wait, because the more they see of him, the more they may realize we're not going to win the championship like this.
No, Daryl's not letting him go
anywhere. Listen, I think he's going to have that waiting for him, barring an injury, almost no matter what. But I do think it is fascinating to me to hear the way Broussard and Wilds talk about the Sixers accurately, I might add. I agree with you guys on it. And the level of concern and how so much of that gets washed away when it comes to the Nets. It's like, oh, well, they have 2 great players. Yes, so does Philly. They do, actually, have 2 great. Oh, there's supporting cast.
There's a difference.
Better supporting cast at this point. What? In Kyrie and KD's playoff resume. I understand. They're champions. I get it. Their playoff resume, they're playoff tested.
And not only champions, Nick, guys that hit huge shots. You know that.
Hit big shots. No. I actually agree with that. I don't know if that's big enough to make up a 15-game in the standings delta, but it's something. Because as of today, the Nets are tied for the 9 spot, and this Philly is essentially tied for first in the East.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.